Howdy y'all. So this is part 2 of my fence build. The first video was a few months ago where I posted setting the posts, and I think I did one preview of what I'm doing here is where I'm setting the side posts that the pickets are going to go onto. And it's a little unconventional compared to most standard fences. Most standard fences just have a post, two side rails. But here I'm trying to use reclaimed materials. I try to do that as much as possible. So you don't really want to reuse posts and the side beams because they're usually pretty rotten. So got new stuff there, but we did pick up some used fence pickets, and I think I've discussed it before. The reason I'm doing the 4 braces right here is that I have some corrugated material that was left on the property that I'm going to put in the middle, and then put pickets above and below. But we'll discuss that a little bit farther when I show you the pickets that I picked up. Because around here you can, I don't know about where you're at in the country, but in the Northwest, cedar pickets are the standard. And so people like to replace theirs. So it's pretty easy to get free stuff. But right here we're talking about one little spot.
All right, so you just saw me measure this one off the top because that end 4x4 post is just a little bit shorter, so I couldn't put a bracket on it. So I just put the angle on here with the pencil, and we'll cut about halfway through the 2x4 thickness, so it just sits on top because it's about 3/4 of an inch shorter than it needed to be. So we'll see if this works.
I didn't try to set my fence post even with that back fence, but after it was said and done, it came really close, so it just made sense to just take a little nick off that 2x4 to get it to sit on top. And then I was just cutting all the rest of the 2x4s and then going over to the other side of the driveway to get them all filled in. And that worked out pretty well. And then we just wanted to measure across here where the corrugated is going to go. So we pulled out some pieces of that and measured the corrugated to make sure it was going to be wide enough. And decided to just bring it over and then do a hand mark instead of measure and cut. So brought out the fancy little power shear, cut the size, and then we brought out the laser level to make sure it was sitting level, and then just anchored them into place with a couple more screws and moved on to the next ones. Although I decided to just go and mark each individual piece and before I cut them, and then cut them, and then I can put them into place. And so we're setting this one in there, and I wanted the cleaner side to be out, but then I realized it would sit kind of funky when I put the pickets on. So then you can now see on the left there it's a little bit dirtier because these used to be roofing, and they glued them together, and you could really see it on that one where it's pretty bad. So at some point when I'm done putting the pickets up and down the road, I will scrape those and clean them up best I can. But now it's time to put some pickets on there because we found some freebies, and I did a few loads looking like that. So we'll discuss that here.
All right, now that we have the corrugated pieces up, I only need 2-foot and 3-foot length boards to go up here, and I did that on purpose because I can get used pickets for free, and I scored some really awesome ones. They're skinnier than normal, but they're old school to where, newer ones are, about a 1/2 inch thick, and man, that's about an inch at least, if not more. There's some of them that are here, they're about 1.25 inches. So this is good old school cedar, and yeah, it's very rotten on the ends. But, I'll cut it after where this is, where the 2x4 went across. That's usually rotten too. But if you cut it just after that, there, and like right here, this is going to look super solid on the inside. So I'll either pressure wash it or run it through my planer, and it'll look good as new. So for now, I'm just going to cut all the bad ends, and then, that's going to be at least 3 feet. So I'll use, cut 3-foot sections. Some of them are longer. Maybe they'll be 4 feet enough to make 2 sections there. So some guy had, he had probably a 1/2 acre lot that he had fenced, and I don't know if this is enough. He did say he cut a bunch up for firewood, but I got this and that, and this was probably maybe half a load sitting in the back of my Rover over there. I had to take half of it out so my dog could ride back home. But I made 2 full load pickups. They're at my mom's house, and so I came back home with half a load and the dog, and I'll go back up there with my travel or utility trailer next time and pick up all the rest. But I wanted to get some here so I could at least see how it works out. So I'll get working on this.
All right, so now that we're down to it, we're cutting the ends, the rod ends off, and just showing you that the insides are still pretty solid. Skin deep layer is still kind of rotten, but not a big deal when they're as thick as they are, and it's really solid inside there. So yeah, we just had a, maybe a quarter of what we all have at my inventories at the house for now. So we're just doing this little process of cutting the ends off and seeing what we have left of good usable stuff. And yeah, wasn't too bad. Just set up a little routine and rinse and repeat. And we're gonna pressure wash the first one here. And there you go. This side looks almost new. That side not so new. It'll still be a little gray, I think, when it dries off, but definitely looks a lot better, that's for sure. So yeah, so just flip it over, do the other side, and there it is. Looks pretty good. And so just trying to figure out a routine here. Decide to do the sides first, and then we'll lay them flat, and then do each individual side. And then this is one thing I tried was with a little sander thing here. I mean, it worked well, but it just took way too long. So I decided to go with pressure washing. And the dogs had to run by to go check out the neighbor dog. But yeah, so I just set up a little situation here where I have those little boards to hold them together when they're upright to do the sides, and then flip them out. And did that for hours and hours on end, but you don't need to watch that forever. So this is one way I did. I put the level up, and then I just kind of traced a line to where I thought the picket should go. And it kind of worked. I mean, it worked out, sort of. It was kind of a pain. So when we go to the next section, I'll show you how I decided to do it to make everything level there, which is more common practice, which I've done before, but I totally forgot. So we'll show you that here in a second. But yeah, just kind of marked, found some pickets that I thought looked pretty decent, and, cut one side and leveled out. And then I'm just using, a lot of people use screws and screw guns to put it in, but I have some ring shank nails from when I was doing my siding and got a ton left. So I figured, what the heck, we'll just use that with my nail gun here, make it go a little bit faster. And they hold pretty well. So not a big deal, just better to be efficient. And for some reason, when I'm turning off and on my camera, I switch the settings to Dreamland, I guess. So go and take a little nap while we're watching that here, and then we'll come back. Yep, wakey, time to get up. And getting close to the end here to this first section. But yeah, just a little rinse and repeat. Takes a little while. It's kind of a pain to, use that little handsaw every time I want to cut one. So I think on the next section, I'd get off my lazy butt and get the chop saw out there and set up a proper workstation. But I knew I only had so many pickets that I wasn't sure if I was going to get, through more than one panel. But we end up doing, I think this is another day. So I think we're still using the handsaw. But here, this is what I was talking about. So on this one, I put up some, measured, put up some screws into the post there, and then used string line, tied them really tight so there's, really tight tension. Use the level to make sure it's straight across. So yeah, that worked a lot quicker and easier than using my laser level and setting up a permanent pen mark to figure out where to go. And then I was just following the 2x4 on the top for the top one, but I should have done a string up there because some of those 2x4s on the top bow up and down. But anyway, now we're going to go over to Mom's house, I think.
All right, loaded about a half load in the Rover last time I was in here, maybe a little less than half, maybe up to about right here, so the dog could fit in there. So I got my Harbor Freight trailer running, had to get some new lights and tires on it, or at least one tire for now, and some new pieces of wood for the side rail here. And this is what we have left. And we got about 3 panels finished on the fence. So we're gonna cut the rod end off here and ends and throw as much as we can in this trailer. Hopefully we can get this whole batch in there, and hopefully it'll be enough. I'm pretty sure it's enough to finish at least what I got to finish on the fence panels that I have ready to go. So it'd be nice if we have extra so I can build more fence with it, but I think we're good, at least for what I have. So, all right, I'll work on that and show you when it's full. All right, just like that, got the pile into there. It's a little overstuffed, but we got the ends cut off, and it's cedar, so it's not too heavy. But most importantly, we didn't have to stuff the back of the rig with the pickets like we did to get them over here. So hopefully that's enough to do what I need to do. Well, here we are back home. We got the load of fence pickets here safely, so not quite a bit. Hopefully we have enough to complete at least the front sections of the fence, if not more. So now we unload them and pressure wash them.
All right, now that we got the full inventory back from Mom's house, we decided to set up a chop saw station to make this a little more efficient. And yeah, so we just finished this side, and then I do the other side of the driveway as well, but I don't record it because it's the same rinse and repeat. So you don't need to watch that. But yeah, we'll just discuss how I finished this off, and then show you a few pictures of the other side, and then leave it off with Callie playing with a random neighborhood dog.
All right, so we got pretty much all the pickets on there, all the full width pickets, but there's, you know, little gaps here where the standard pickets were too wide, so we brought the table saw up here while the power cord was up here and the chop saw was all set up, and we'll cut them to size and then skinny them up and get them put into place. So this stage of the process will be done on this side, and then we'll go work on the left side of the driveway.